All right, good morning and welcome to Master Talker online class. In today's video, we'll be talking about mathematics of finance. Yes, let's talk about money now. Commercial mathematics, okay? So, and the first one we'll look at is ratio. Let's find out how to share money in ratio or share anything in ratio, okay? Ratio, this is the act of comparing like quantities such as weight, length, money, etc. The ratio of m is to n is represented in fraction as m over n. Okay, so please, very importantly to note that m is to n is not the same thing as saying n is to m. It's as good as saying m over n cannot be the same thing as saying n over m. Okay, they are not the same. You need to take note of that. So, but without talking a long story, let's start solving calculations involving ratio. So the first question we are going to solve said if it costs three shopkeepers, if it costs three shopkeepers A, B, C 918,000.00 to purchase a common generator, right, for their three shops, and the amount was shared in the ratio 1:2:3, all right, respectively. How much would shopkeeper B pay? Right, so this is very, very simple. We say that we have that shopkeepers, they want to share this money in the ratio of 1:2:3. Let everybody know how much he wants to bring. Maybe it's according to how big their shop is. Okay, the first person, shopkeeper A, has small shop. Maybe the other one has a medium one, and then the last one has a big one. So we want to know how much we are going to share this for in their ratio. So, but we want to get okay, now to get for keeper B alone, okay, solution. First of all, what we need is ratio of keeper B, shopkeeper B, and the ratio of shopkeeper B is the one in the middle because they say respectively 2. So we now need the total ratio. And total ratio is what? 1 plus 2 plus 3, which will give you 6. All right. So now the share of shopkeeper will now be equal to what? The ratio of that shopkeeper B all over the total ratio times that amount of money they are sharing, 918,000. So if you multiply and divide by 8, you have that his own share is 306,000 naira. Right, very, very simple. So if you want to get for any of them, if you want to get for the last person, it will be his ratio over the total ratio times the total amount that they are sharing over 1. Okay, you now do your normal mathematics and get your answer. So question number 2 said a seller allows 20% discount for cash payment on the marked price of his goods. All right, then they now say what is the ratio of the cash payment to the marked price. All right, now solution, this is very simple. Now for the cash payment, we have the cash payment is to the marked price. Now if he removes 20% discount, which is out of 100, he's removing 20% discount for cash payment. So for cash payment, he's taking 20%. Okay, if you now say that is the discount, okay, 20% discount, this can mean that he's removing it. So from the total money, he's removing 20%. So from the total money, he's removing 20%. So from the 100% of that money, he will remove 20% for you. Okay, so therefore for the cash payment is what is 80, but the marked price is the original price, which is what 100. Are you getting it now? So the ratio is now keep dividing them. So it is what 0 cancels 0, you have 8:10. 2 still divided, you have 4:5. So the answer is what 4:5 is the ratio. So please know what is discount. Okay, we are not using that 20 is the discount, but that is not the money. That is not the actual money the person is going to pay. 20% discount means if you bring out the 20%, remove it from the normal money the person is supposed to pay. So the rest is now the actual amount the person is supposed to pay. Okay, so you have to be very careful not to make mistake, right? So number 3, the only problem students have in this commercial mathematics is English. If you don't really understand English very well, to convert the English to mathematics will be a problem. Yes, in 1995, the enrollment of two schools, X and Y, were 150 and 1190, right, respectively. Okay, then find the ratio of the enrollment of X to Y. All right, solution. Now the enrollment of X to Y, you have to be very careful. This is school X is to school Y. Okay, you have to be very careful the one they mention first, and that is the one you are going to write first. So we have 1050 is to 1190. So press it. If you press it, you are going to have, okay, 0 can cancel 0. We have 105 is to 119. Okay, if you divide further, you are going to have 15 is to 17. So how do you get that? You can divide by 7. All right, If you divide it by 7, you have this. Divide it by 7, you have this one. So that is that. But sometimes the answer may be in fraction. The answer may be 15 over 17. And that option can give you 17 over 15. So it depends on the one they mentioned first. Had it been they mentioned y is to x, then it will now be 17 over 15. But since they mentioned x is to y, it will be 15 over 17. So you have to be very careful with the one they mentioned first. All right. So the next one said, what number must be added? What number must be added to each term of the ratio? Each term of the ratio 13 is to 16, so that it becomes the ratio 4 is to 5. All right. Solution. So what term should be added to this so that it will become solution? So let the number be x. That is the number that will be added, be x. So which means if I have 13 plus that x is to 16 plus that x, we want it to be equal to the ratio 4 is to 5. And don't forget that is to means divide. So it is what? 13 plus x divided by what? 16 plus x is equal to what? 4 divided by 5. So I can now do my cross multiply, so that I will now have that what? I have that 4 in bracket of 16 plus x is equal to what? 5 in bracket of 13 plus x. So if you open the bracket, 4 times 16, you're going to have 4 times 16, you're going to have 64, okay, plus 4x is equal to what? 65 plus what? 5x. So if you collect like terms, you're going to have 64 minus 65 is equal to what? 5x minus 4x. So therefore, you are now having that what? That x is equal to what? Minus 1. So you have gotten it. So minus 1 is to be added to it, which means we are subtracting 1. Getting minus 1 means we are subtracting 1 from each of them. You know that subtraction is just the opposite of addition. It's addition in reverse form. Yes. So that is that. Right? It's a very simple question. So the next one said, what number must be added? What number must be added to each term of the ratio 11 is to 15, so that it becomes the ratio 4 is to 8. Right? The same process, the same procedure. Okay. So what do? We say that what? Let the number be x. So we say what? 11 plus x is to 15 plus x. And we want it to be equal to what? 4 is to 8. And I told that is to means divide. So what do we have now? We now have 11 plus x divided by what? 15 plus x is equal to what? 4 divided by 8. So if you cross multiply, we are going to have that what? 8 in bracket of 11 plus x is equal to what? 4 in bracket of 15 plus x. So if you do that, you're going to have, in fact, this one can even be reduced. We can decide to reduce it first before we cross multiply, or we cross multiply before we reduce it, the same thing. So this is 88 plus what? 8x is equal to what? 60 plus what? 4x. So therefore 8x minus 4x is equal to what? 60 minus 88. So what do we have now? So we are now having that what? 4x is equal to what? Minus 28. So x is minus 28 divided by 4, which is what? Minus 7. So minus 7 is to be added to both of them to get that particular ratio, right? Very, very simple. So the next question, that is question number anything, maybe I think number 5 or so. They say that a comma q comma r and s shares a sum shared a sum of money in the ratio 3:4:6:7, right? They now said if s receives if s received 600 naira, if s receives 600 naira more than q, comma, calculate the amount of money that was shared. All right. Solution. This is very simple. The first thing we need to get is the total ratio. Let's get the total ratio first. Total ratio is equal to what? 3 plus 4 plus 6 plus 7, which is 20. All right. So, and we know that the ratio of x, ratio of s is equal to, s is the last person here, so the ratio of s is 7, and the ratio of q is what? Q is the second person, so the ratio of q is what? Is 4. So what else do we need now? Now let the total money that is shared be x. Okay, so let the amount shared be equal to x. So since it's equal to x, so what do we do now? They say that if s received 600 naira more than q. Okay, so first of all, let us get the share of x and get the share of y. So first of all, share of s is equal to ratio of s. Share of s is equal to the ratio of x divided by the total ratio 20 times the total money, and we said that the total money is equal to what? X. So the ratio of s, this time this will give you what? 7s over 20. This is the ratio of s, and this is the money, the share of s. So the share of q will now be what? The ratio of q, 4 all over the total ratio 20 times what? The total money they are sharing over 1. So if you do that, you are going to have 4 divided 1, 4 divided 5. So I'm having x over 5. X over 5 is the share of what? Of q. But they say that what? That s received 600 naira more than q. Okay, so if s receives 600 naira more than q, which means if you want s and q to be equal, then I'm going to add 600 naira to anything q has, or either subtract that 600 naira s used to be more than this person. It's either you subtract the 600 naira from s or you add it to q. Any of them, that is what to make them equal. All right, so therefore, since s received 600 naira more than q, then therefore we now have that. Well, let's remove that 600 naira. If you remove that 600 naira, then they are equal, or you go and add that 600 naira to this man. So anyone you like will still give you the same answer. So s has 7s over what? 20 is equal to what? X over 5 plus 600 naira. I added 600 naira to this man so that they will be equal. The normal amount of this person, then plus 600 naira. Okay, or you say the normal amount of this person minus that 600 naira will give you this one. So let's go there. I now have that what 7x over 20 is equal to, the LCM here is 5. This over 1. 5 divided by this is 5. 5 times is what? Is x, plus 5 divided by this is 5. 5 times 600. 6 times 5 is 30. Then now add the 2 zeros. So now, if you cross multiply, or you can easily know that denominator can always divide denominator. If you want it like this, or you cross multiply, please. If denominator dividing denominator will confuse you, please cross multiply. All right. But I know that 5 divide here 1, 5 divide here 4. So then before I cross multiply, this time this will give you 7x is equal to, this time this 4x plus 4 times this, 3 times 4 is 12. Add all the 3 zeros. So this one coming here, I have that 7x minus 4x is equal to 12, 0, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. All right. So therefore, this and this will give you 3x is equal to 12, 0, 0, 0. So therefore, permit me to just finish it here. So therefore, my x will now be what? 12, 1, 2, 3 divided by 3. So my x is equal to 3 times 4 is 12. So I have 4, 1, 2, 3. So the total amount they shared is just 4,000 naira. Right? So the total amount they shared is 4,000 naira. Okay? So write it down. The total amount they shared is 4,000 naira. This is very, very simple. You can try the other way around to see if you get the same answer. All right. So that is that for this particular one. All right. So the next question here said, the monthly profit of transport business was shared between two partners, comma, a husband and wife, in the ratio 7:5, full stop. And I say if the wife received 15,000 less than the husband, all right, comma, find out how much the husband received. All right. Solution. First of all, we need their individual ratio and the total ratio. So ratio of husband, which one they mention first? They say husband to wife. So ratio of husband is 7. So ratio of wife is 5. Total ratio is 5 plus 7, which is 12. So now you can now say let the total money be what? Be x. So let us get the share of the husband. Share of husband is equal to what? The ratio of husband 7 over the total ratio 12 times that x, which will give you 7x over 12. All right. So now share of wife will now be what? Ratio of wife 5 all over the total ratio 7 times the total amount of money x. So which will give you what? 5x over what? Over 12. Now there is a statement here. They say that what? That the wife received 15,000 less than the husband. So if you want them to be equal, it's either you add that 15,000 to the wife, or you can subtract it from the husband. Anyone will give you the same answer. So for them to be equal, so since wife received 15,000 less than the husband, therefore we now have that the share of the husband is what? 7x over what? 12 is equal to share of the wife plus that 15,000. Yes, that is what will make them equal, because that is their difference. So now if you do this, you are going to have that 12 can cancel 12. Okay, before 12 cancel 12, oh, please, this is over 1. You have to find the LCM. So this is 7x over 12 is equal to what? 5x plus 15,000 times 12. Can I get my small phone, please? So 15,000 times 12. Okay, so this is what? 15,000 times 12. 15, 12, 3, 5, 1. So 180. So 180,123. All right. So I'm going to have over 12. So this cancel this to now have that. The denominator can cancel out. So I have that 7x is equal to what? 5x plus what? 18,123. So collect items to have that 7x minus 5x is equal to what? 18,123. So therefore 2x is equal to what? 18,123. So x is equal to what? 18,123 divided by 2. So what do I have now? 90,000. Right? So that is that. Very, very simple. So the next question. Okay, sorry. This is the amount. This is the total amount, not the amount shared the husband got. So the share of the husband now, share of husband is simply 7x over 12, which is what? 7 times. We have gotten the x to be what? 90,000 divided by what? 12. So which will give you that the share of the husband is 5 to 500. Right? So you see that it's very, very simple. A sum of money is to be shared. A sum of money to be shared among in ratio 2 is to 1 whole number 1 over 2 is to 2 whole number 1 over 2. All right, respectively. Okay, so the last say if Faith received 10,000 naira, okay, what is the sum of the money? What is the sum of the money? That's the total money. what is the sum of the money? All right. So solution. This is very simple. So we have that that the ratio of faith, that is the main one we need. Ratio of faith, and faith came last. Sorry, faith came in the middle. So ratio of faith is what? One whole number 1 over 2, which is the same as 1.5. Or you can say this time this plus this, that is 3 over 2. Anyone you like, you can use. Okay, you will still get the same answer. So but this one will be easier for us to do the calculation, or this particular one. So I now have that total ratio will now be what? 2 plus 1 whole number 1 over 2 plus 2 whole number 1 over 2, which is 2 plus 1 3, 3 plus 2 5, 5 plus 1, because half is 1, that is 6. So the total ratio is 6. So now the share of faith will now be what? The ratio of faith, that is what? Let me use 1.5 divided by what? The total ratio 6, then times okay, x. Let's say let the total money be x, please. Let the total money be x. All right, times x. So but they have given us the share of faith. So therefore 10,000, okay, is equal to what? 1.5x divided by 6. So we can cross multiply to have 1.5x is equal to what? 6 times 10,000 will give you 60,000. So therefore x is now 60,000 divided by 1.5. So 60,000 divided by 1.5. So we are going to get 40,123, right? 0.00. Okay. Or if you don't have calculator, you can say that x is equal to what? 60,000 divided by 1.5 is 3 over 2. So which is what? 60,000 times 2 over 3. So 3 into this will give you 20,000. So 20,000 times this will still give you the same 40,000. Okay. So that is that for that. Right. Okay. So the next question here said the ratio of Bimbo's age to her mother is 5:7. What is the what is Bimbo's age if her mother is 63 years old? All right. Solution. So what do we have? We are going to have Bimbo is to her mother. All right. So we'll say, okay, we'll first of all say let Bimbo's age be what? Be x. So let Bimbo's age be x. All right. So now the ratio is what? 5:7. Then their age is now x is to what? Is to 63. So let us do that. And don't forget that is to means divide, which is 5 over what? 7 is equal to what? X, the first one written, over what? 63. All right. So we can cross multiply. For cross multiply, we are going to have that let's do it here, that 7x is equal to what? 5 times 63. So my x will now be what? 5 times 63 divided by 7. So what do you have? So Bimbo's age is 45 years. We move ahead. The next one said Obi and Audu own a shop. The ratio of Obi's share to Audu's is 3:7. Okay, sorry, 13:7. Right? Later, Audu sells 1/5 of his share to Obi for 6,300 naira. All right. Then I say find the value of the shop. Find the value of the shop. All right. Solution. Okay. So let the value of the shop be X. So let the value of the shop be X. Okay. If this is the value of the shop, so we now have so first of all, ratio of Obi ratio of Obi ratio of Obi is equal to what? 13. And ratio of Audu is equal to what? 7. And the total ratio is equal to what? 20. All right. Now, so let's get the share of Audu, okay, and get the share of Obi. So they say if Audu sells 1/5 of his share, okay, let's get the share of Audu. Audu's share is equal to what? His ratio 7 over what? 13 times the total amount x over 1, which is what? 7x over 13. But he sold his 1/5 of his share for this thing. So 1/5 of that his share, 7x over 13, is the what he sold for 6,300 naira. So what do we have now? Off means times 1/5 times 7x over 13 is equal to 6,300. So this time this 7x is equal to what? This time this will give you 3 times 5 15, 6 times 5 6. So it's equal to what? 6,300. So therefore 7x is equal to what? 6,300 times 65. So my x will now be what? 6,300 times 65 divided by 7. So x is now equal to what? Sorry, this is 7 over the total amount 20, not 13. Total amount 20, sorry. So this time this is 100. Sorry, that's a mistake. Okay, so if you now divide it, you are going to have 90,000. Right? So that is that. So the total share, the value of the shop, sorry, is 90,000 naira. Right? So the next one said the present the present ages of a father to his son. Okay, the present ages of his father and his son is in the ratio 10:3. So then I say if the son is 15 years, if the son is 15 years old now, comma, how many years will the ratio of their ages be 2:1, right? So we can say let the age of the father be what? Be x. So let's have son is to father. So therefore the ratio is what? Son is 3, is to father is 10, and age of the son is 15, is to father x. So let us do the math. Don't forget that is to means divide. So I'm going to have 3/10 is equal to 15/x. So cross multiply to have 3x is equal to what? 150. So x is equal to 150 divided by 3. So what do we have? 50 years. Okay. So the age of the man currently is 50 years. Now, all right. So now let's go. So which means ratio of ages now is what? Son is to father is what? The son is 15, is to the father is 50 years. Okay. So now let's say in y years their ratio is going to be in y years their ratio will be uh 2:1. Okay, sorry, 1:2 because I wrote son before father. 1:2. Right? So their ratio is going to be 1:2 because what they said here is father first before son, please. So you have to be very, very careful. So which means if I add y to both of them, it should give me equal to this. All right. So which means 15 plus y is to 50 plus y will give me equal to, look at what I'm saying, 15 is to y 15 plus y is to 50 plus y will give me 1:2. Right? So therefore 15 plus y over 50 plus y is equal to 1:2. So cross multiply. If you cross multiply, you are going to have 2 in bracket of 15 plus y is equal to 1 in bracket of 50 plus y. So this time this 30 plus 2y is equal to what? 50 plus y. So this one coming here, 2y minus y is equal to 50 minus 30. So y is now what? 20 years. So in 20 years, their ages, the ratio of their ages will be 1:2. So that is that. But this sound as if it doesn't make sense to me. So why would the ratio of their age change? Is it that the man will stop growing at a particular point? I don't know. So find out. But that is that, anyways. So let me check my time. We have solved so many questions. 45 minutes. Okay, so let me just finish it up. Let's know we have concluded all the things in this. All right. So the next question said 140123, all right, is shared between Abu, comma, Kayode and Uche. All right, full stop. Then I say Abu has twice as much as Kayode, and Kayode has twice as much as Uche. Okay, what is Kayode's share? All right, what is Kayode's share? Right, solution. Now I have Abu is to Kayode is to Uche. Now, if Uche's own is U, for instance, therefore Kayode's own will be twice of Uche, that is 2U, while Abu's own is what? 2 of Kayode's own. So if you still bring it down, so which means that if you still bring it down, you're going to have that let's bring it down. That is 2 of Kayode's own is still 2U is to the 2U is to the U. So this will give you 4U is to 2U is to U. So that is how they are sharing the stuff. So, and if I add all their money, I'm going to have the total money we have. So therefore 4U plus 2U plus U will give me what? 14,000. I mean 140,000, sorry. So this is 57. So 7U is 14,0123. So U itself is what? 14,0123 divided by 7. So U will give you what? 20,123. So Uche's money is 20. So Kayode's own. Kayode will now be what? 2 of Uche, which is what? 2 times 20, which is what? 40K. Right? Very, very simple. The next one. I think I'm going to stop here. In our next video, we'll talk about percentage. So thank you very much for watching. Please share, like, and comment.